what I've been doing this whole month is that I've been doing like one retro black book a week and basically talking about a black superhero or black supervillain, whichever one. I was gonna do this book last week, but I think I did something else. I don't remember what I did last week. But
You did Kang, Ramatut or whatever.
oh yeah, I did do Ramatut. Okay, I did do Ramatut. So this week we're going to. I was going to do like an Ant-Man thing, but this week we're going to do Goliath. Now, I'm sorry, not Goliath, Black Goliath. That's the difference. So a lot of people watch Ant-Man and Wasp, and they saw Lawrence Fishburne show up in the movie. They're like, why the fuck is Lawrence Fishburne in this movie? The reason Lawrence Fishburne is in this movie because in the comics he's actually a black superhero, although he was killed off in Civil War, which is really the only notable thing he did in Marvel Comics, which is why nobody cares about him. But we're going to talk about his first appearance. Talk about his first appearance in an actual Luke Cage comic. And why is he in this comic? Because Luke Cage slept with his wife. And that's why they're fighting.
My man.
They had coffee. All right, let's get to it. So the debut of Black Goliath. Okay, so they're in California. Like I said, Luke Cage is in Harlem. He's based in Harlem, but he's in California right now. And he goes to the circus and he sees Among Us walks Black Goliath. And he sees the trapeze artist. And the thing is, it's raining and it's windy outside. And these trapeze artists decide to do the act anyway. And what happens? They slip and fall. Oh, and the trapeze snaps also. So Luke Cage jumps up there, grabs the guy. And since he's like 300 pounds, he's heavy enough that he can kind of tilt the pole into a net, which saves the trapeze artist's life. So they fall, and the trapeze artist, his brother, his partner, trapeze artist, they're like, well, thank you, Luke Cage. We got to get the hell up out of here. Meanwhile, Luke Cage is with his buddy, his sidekick back in the 70s, D.W. Griffin. Now, I always wondered why the hell was this guy named D.W. Griffin? Because
what the fuck, man?
for those who don't know who D.W. Griffin is, D.W. Griffin is Hollywood's very first director. He directed The Birth of a Nation, which is to this day used as recruitment for the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
So,
but because it was the first full-length movie, basically
full-length movie,
full-length feature.
A Klan movie. That's what it's about. Yeah,
where the Ku Klux Klan are heroes and shit. Yeah,
right. And that's who they decided to name this character after. And he teaming up with Luke Cage. What? Okay. Anyway.
Ebony and Ivory.
Yeah, going back there anyway. So these two trapeze artists, the reason he told his brother, he was like, well, why don't we thank Luke Cage? Why we got to here? Nah, we got to get back to the capo, man, because we just fought Daredevil about a month ago, so we got to get out of here because we can't have no superheroes around our business. So we found out who these guys are later on in the book. Meanwhile, the reason Luke Cage is here is because his girlfriend Claire Temple ran away, sent him a Dear John letter or a Dear Luke Cage letter, and she left Harlem and went to California. But she left her address from the hotel she was staying at on there. So he was like, well, she must want me to know where she's at, so let's go to California and find her. And when he goes to the hotel, the hotel tells him that, yeah, she's been hanging out at this circus the whole time. So he goes there, sees his girlfriend Claire, and she's just like, Claire, why the hell did you leave me and come to California to this circus? They hug and miss and stuff like that. And she's like, okay, yes.
To beg and plead.
Right. You had to drive 30 hours to go see your girlfriend. She basically telling, okay, there's a good reason why I'm here in California and why I didn't want you to come to New York. I came to California to be with my husband. And he's like, wait, you married? What? Yeah. He didn't know she was married the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, well, fuck this. I'm out of here. Congratulations, you and your husband. He's like, no. It ain't what you think. It ain't that. See, my husband is Bill Foster. Bill Foster was the same name of the character in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Lawrence Fishburne play. He was like, yeah, that's my husband, but we're divorced. I can remember this was in 1974. Divorce was an ugly word back then. It's not like it is now. Everybody wasn't getting divorced left and right back then. So she's saying she divorced, but she didn't want to tell Luke Cage she was divorced at the time. So anyway, they basically telling how they met. They met in, I don't know, Harvard or wherever the hell they met. They got married young. They argue, fuss and fight all the time. They got divorced.
Dishes.
Yeah, threw dishes at each other, all stuff like that. So yeah, so she went to be a nurse, and Bill Foster went to go work for Tony Stark. And that's it. That's the last time they met. Meanwhile, Hank Pym got some trouble. His growth serum wasn't working how it's supposed to, so he called Bill Foster and helped him perfect the formula. Bill Foster did that, and when he did that, he kept the formula for himself, using himself, and became the Black Goliath. And that's what he is right now. So yeah, but he don't know how to shrink. So he just stuck at 15 feet. So the thing is, Bill Foster knows how to fix himself, but he needs the money to do it. That's why he don't want to call Hank Pym. He want to call Tony Stark. He wants to do it on his own. But the thing is, he didn't have any money, so that's why he joined the circus to get money to complete the serum so he can shrink himself. She didn't tell Luke Cage what was going on because Luke Cage is an ex-convict. And since Bill Foster has all these ties with the Avengers, like Tony Stark and Hank Pym, if they find out that ex-con is even around here, the Avengers are going to be on your ass. She's like, okay, well, that kind of makes sense. But still, why didn't you at least tell me you were leaving? I guess when you get back with your husband, all your side dudes, you just leave them alone. She's like, nah, don't be like that. Because I think I'm still in love with my husband. And that's when, get your hands off my wife. And that's when Black Goliath shows up and he's ready to beat some ass. Like, if you get your hands on my wife right now, we're going to have some problems. He's like, your wife is my woman. Let's go. So they just start fighting, punches him in the gut, flattens him. But, Bill Foster is just like, look, you don't know who I am, and just slaps him away like a fly. He don't know who Luke Cage is, so he just grabs him, tosses him across the room, throws him some shit. He's just like, nah, stay down before I, really fuck you up. And that's when Luke Cage is like, you must don't know who I am. So that's when he cocked back and punched him in the shin, takes him out. So that's just going back and forth. And Claire's just like, no, guys, don't fight over me. She's not real convincing about it, but yeah. So he grabs one of the nets the trapeze artist used, thinking that would trap Luke Cage. Luke Cage just goes through that shit like it's nothing, punches Black Goliath in the face, and then he falls 15 feet to the ground because that's how he was. Boom, hits the ground. So basically kind of like evenly matched right now. But before they can finish the match, that's when they both get hypnotized by the ringmaster. Because those two trapeze artists that he saved, they work for the Circus of Crime. Some old Daredevil / Hawkeye / Avengers / whatever villains. To be continued. Yeah. So that's the story. The first appearance of Black Goliath. And he really didn't have too many appearances past that. Like I said, I think he teamed up with like the Thing for like tag team wrestling duos. And that was it. That's pretty much it. So he wasn't really a big thing. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I think that's why I did Kang last week. But yeah, it's still a cool story. Just want to give you old throwback. So if you want to know about who is Black Goliath, that's Black Goliath. So yeah.